All right, guys, Shotty T here with another Alliance War video. This is war number 10 of the season. We're doing pretty well to finish the season off strong. This time the opponent is running Bulwark, so don't get a chance to see this as often as it was when it first came out. So basically, for those not familiar, it helps metal champs so you can't armor break them. Um, you can nullify their armor if you got mystics, if they have natural armor up buffs. Also, if you deal more than 5% of their health, they become indestructible for a period of time. And the only way to get rid of that indestructible is, again, you can nullify it or stagger it, or just by simply knocking them down with a special attack. So, but a lot of times it really doesn't come into play in a lot of fights. So really, and plus I don't have champs that rely on armor break anyway. I mean, Warlock is one of them, but again, there's ways to work around it. Plus, if you are a metal attacker, if you deal damage over time, then you can bypass the at least the indestructible part. But anyway, first fight we have a Wasp. She is a metal champ, but again, it's not gonna be relevant in this fight with Quake. Gonna do like we always do with Quake. On this particular node, we knocked the opponent down. She was out of my range to knock her down there. So we knocked them down on the ebb and flow, knocked down to get rid of that protection for the rest of the fight. And that way the rest of the quaking is gonna be much smoother. Actually, she throws a heavy there herself. So we're just moseying right along. Three or four more cycles should do it here. Probably 3 more cycles. We gotta be careful not to push her over a bar of power though. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you do, but usually with Quake you're not used to opponent throwing specials. But this one more should do it. There we go. Alright, so next fight we got Hit Monkey. I believe we're gonna use Claire for this one. Yeah. So, because obviously you can't Quake them, because if you evade, that means the next strike is guaranteed to not miss. So you just really stay away from someone like that. So really, we're just keeping this simple. You've seen this fight before. Basically, you knock him down, and with Claire, she applies 3 debuffs when she throws her heavy. So Hit Monkey, he naturally shrugs off a debuff when he's knocked down. So all he does is just purify one of the bleeds. And if he has that orange field active, that means the very next debuff he's guaranteed to purify it. So if you try to stun him, you're just gonna immediately get out that stun. And if he has that purple thing going, like the one that's in the meter, not that vigilance, but the purple meter, that basically means he has a chance to evade. So and that magnifying glass that you saw was vigilance. Basically, it caused the opponent not to miss. So I think it has something to do with evade as well. But yeah, so that was the first fight. That fight there, I mean. So this next fight's kind of no, okay. For some reason I was thinking about another Ebony Moth fight, but this is a Quake fight all day. Certain fights, certain champs against him on this node will be a little bit more of a challenge. You just have to deal with the falter. But Ebony Maw has such poor physical resistance because Quake's aftershock charges counts as a physical attack, not as an energy-based attack. So quaking a guy like this, that's basically mushy, and not much physical resistance. It makes this fight pretty straightforward. Got hit a little bit at the end there, but we move on. Could have taken Doom, but somebody else took him. And I believe pre-fight is being applied to the Korg here. Or is it? Yeah, it is. So I'm going to use Claire here. Yep, there we have Korg ready. Thank you. So we're going to use Claire here. Really, I think you guys seen this fight enough times to know really what goes on here. So if you want to fast forward ahead, you can, and I'll restart the commentary at the end of this fight. All right, guys, there's that fight. Let me know if you have any questions regarding that. Like I said, this means pretty much a standard fight there every war now. All right, so next we got Dark Hawk. I was debating on who to bring here because obviously with Bulwark you can't armor break them. So traditional robot counters such as Medusa won't work here. So we're just gonna quake them. We'll be able to heal that health we lost at Ebony Maw with the crumbling armor that's guaranteed to trigger on this particular node due to force of will. So it's free heal station for Quake. Most opponents, she can Quake on this node. There are some tricky ones that I've seen placed here where you can't take advantage of the cheese. But anyways, we're almost done with this fight. And he doesn't have as big a physical resistance either, which is kind of surprising for a robot, but you know, it is what it is. All right, and there we go. So next we got this Spider Ham, and I've seen this guy before. You guys recall on that mini boss, the brute force limber, didn't have a fun time there. So this fight, we're gonna boost. We're just gonna keep it simple with Quake, um, as we can, and just get through this fight as soon as possible. All right, here we go. Okay. Like I said, I haven't quaked this guy as much as some of the other champs, so his movements are kind of quirky. I think I ended up getting hit a couple of times during this fight. It seems like every strike he does, he's like flying in the air. He has to jump up to hit you every time. So I do get power stings on me, but I have willpower, so not a bad thing to have on you. Just it hurts you very bad though if you try to throw a special, which I've learned the hard way. So that said, we are halfway done with the pig, and we still got. We're only a minute and a half in this fight, and he's halfway down, so he's on pace to be down around the 220, 215 mark. Let's just do a little wager to see if it's gonna be over or under. It's gonna be more than less than 315 left, or more than 320, or will it be in between? Not 320. I mean 230 and 245. I think. Not sure what I'm thinking. 2 minutes or 215. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I think I'm confused myself now. So, but we're almost done with this fight. It's almost like commentating a baseball game. You run out of stuff to talk about, so you just talk off the wall stuff. But anyway, let's have our trivia question of the night. But all right, so this next fight, I thought there was some malarkey that took place during this fight, but I did have a chance to look over this fight again after the fact. There was a mistake made, but I think it might have been just a king thing but you'll see. You'll see. It's hard to explain. You'll see it, then I'll try to explain it afterwards. But this is Nova. I think it's the first time fighting a Nova since the buff, so I had to just make sure it wasn't any strange abilities to be on the lookout for. Obviously, being awakened gives him some extra stuff. So I technically could have used Quake for this fight, because the first thing I was looking for is if he had like not ability accuracy reduction, but True Strike, or some mechanism that caused him to have True Strike. But usually that doesn't happen until after he throws a bunch of specials, or it's at some point where he has True Strike. So because of that, it was a little sketchy to try to consider bringing Quake for this fight, just in case. I always try to be safe. So as you can see, we're doing pretty well thus far, and just kind of remind some of you guys, when Nova has 50 when he has 50 or more Nova charges, when you parry him, or I forgot what it was. I know if you have 70, if he has 75 or more charges, um, if you auto block, and that hurt. That combo kind of hurt there. So now we're just trying to throw an SP2, and you see there, I tried to do a full combo, but well, I tried to do a 2-hit combo, then throw the special, but it just totally missed the light attack effort, and it went from medium attack to SP2, and there was too much of a delay time between that medium and that SP2, where the opponent had a chance to block that attack, and then I got punished. So initially, I thought that I did manage to get the special off, actually hit him with the first hit of my special, and then he blocked the rest of it. That's what I thought was like complete malarkey, but that wasn't the case. Now that I'm looking at it in hindsight, it's just that I know that I attempted a combo before throwing that special, the medium and a light, but the light attack, it did not register, and therefore you had that little gap between the medium attack and the SP2 execution. So we decided to go back in with Claire because unfortunately we still got other fights to do with her, so might as well revive her. I'm not gonna pump her all the way up because what happened there, that was more fluky. So we're just gonna play this one a little bit more safe. And of course the invulnerability boost is all gone. So there we go. So as you can see there, when he has 50 or more of those charges, if you parry him, he automatically like purifies that parry. And if he auto blocks you when he has 75 or more charges, the auto block turns into a parry as well. And he almost do a SP3. And I'm just getting crushed by this Nova, man. Did not expect this fight to go the way as it been going. So we got a little intercept there, so we're gonna try to use this interval to see if we can get a SP2 in here. Here we go. Take advantage of that fury. There we go. Get that block damage back from this fight. Okay. And there's the true strikes. Like I said, I never know when that'll pop up. And I have to just go back and study his abilities to make sure I'm knowing when certain stuff will pop up. It seems like you just get random buffs, but I'm pretty sure they're not random. So there's the true strike again. Like, so I'm not sure what caused him to trigger true strike. But again, that's if he's throwing specials. Alright. So now we got a Kingpin. This fight is going to be a very methodical, thought out fight. Because against Kingpin, you can't do your standard parry heavy because he's going to shrug quite a bit of debuffs. And when he shrugs off, he's going to gain a stack of rage, which is going to increase his power gain. And on this particular node, Redouble Determination, that's going to increase it even more. So his own rage is going to help him gain power at a faster rate. So you want to just minimize applying debuffs. So in Claire's case, I don't want to parry him often, and I also don't want to apply a bunch of bleeds on him with my SP1. I'd rather just not worry about the SP1. There we go. Okay. I mean, not we. That was the only thing we were worried about is throwing the SP1. That's what I meant to say. So as you see, I stunned him there, but I didn't immediately attack just in case he shrugged it off. Because if he does shrug off, it's going to be at the beginning before you start another combo. He's not going to just play possum after you stare at him being hit for like 7 minutes and he appears to be dead. But then you try to go in and fight, then they wake up. But again, that's a Another off-topic reference about possums. So anyway, um, and this kingpin does have suicides, but as you can see, that power gain rate is crazy. Two-hit combo. He's back at a bar of power. Now his rage meter resets, and we want to try to keep him in the corner as much as we can. And if he's not throwing his special, then I'll just heal off um, that armor on the node. There we go. So we're almost at full health now. All right, guys, that's the end of that fight. Nearly fell asleep just waiting for that fight to finish. I didn't quite get enough sleep last night, so as you can see, these are robots we're facing. They haven't died yet, so I mean, the chances of winning this war is very diminished at this moment. So, I believe for this particular fight, this many we do not boost. Yeah, we just ran into a buzzsaw this particular war. Because if we won the last 3 wars of this season, there was an outside chance that we could have finished Platinum 3, like right on the edge. But losing this war pretty much put that out of reach. Um, so really, it's just a matter of not losing the last 3 wars. Like we lost the first 3, and then not even, and then having Platinum 4 be in jeopardy, which, as you guys know from my video earlier this week, that didn't happen. So, but again, we're just trying to pump out all these war videos so that way I can get some other content on this channel. Luckily, there's no Alliance Quest this week, so that did open up some time. I know Alliance Quest should start back up, I believe, the 18th. So, and I'm trying to remember why I paused there. Was I out of town? I might have been out of town. I've been doing a lot of traveling too, so like I said, so my schedule is pretty busy. In fact, I'm going to be going out of town again this weekend, so that's more of a reason why I want to get these videos out, because I don't want you guys to wait, because usually when I'm out of town, I'm definitely not posting videos. I try to preload them and have them scheduled to go out maybe, but you'll likely see the variant stuff maybe Sunday. So but anyway, next fight we have Thing, but hey, they died. They got 4 deaths now, so the comeback is on. All right, but anyway, again, it's another fight that you see over and over again. Um, Again, it's like before. Use her bleeds to control the rock stacks. Every time I try to bleed him, she gains mystic charges. Once she gains 20 mystic charges, I have just exactly 2 bars of power. Throw the SP2 to heal myself, and then change modes to where when she's in the poison or the incinerate phase, where I'm actually able to uh, stun him after being poisoned, and then go from there. So that's the game plan. Of course, manage the rock stats as usual, especially when you're no longer in her bleed phase to control it that way. But if you want to throw specials, you're going to have to start bleeding and then incinerating this guy. So once again, we'll bypass the rest of the commentary for this fight, and let's see you on the back side of this. All right, guys. So as you saw there, those 20 mystic charges makes that SP3 hit pretty hard. So now we got a mojo. So this is where you'll actually learn something here. So I talked about this 2 wars ago. So I debated whether I wanted to use magic or quake here. But so here's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, the war is pretty much lost, but we're gonna boost here because I want this fight to go over as soon as possible. The long mojo fights is just asking for trouble in some cases, depending on the RNG. So we're gonna use quake here, and we're not gonna hit him. So you wonder, okay, you got brute force, aren't you gonna die from it? Well, the thing about brute force, it's the degeneration rate is proportionate based off of class advantage or disadvantage. If it's neutral, then brute force will kill you because it's designed to pretty much degenerate 100% of your health. If you got the class disadvantage, then you'll lose 100% of your health in half the time. So you're guaranteed to lose the rest of your health, even with a class disadvantage. But if you have the class advantage, then the brute force health damage is cut in half. So that means you're only gonna, if you start at 100% health And you can only pretty much do this with Quake because what other fighters are you going to be fighting where you're not hitting them? Because if I hit him, it's going to reset the brute force timer, and therefore it'll just kill the rest of my life. But if I don't hit him or just Quake, because I have the class advantage, brute force is effectively gone unless I hit him. And then it doesn't help that I get hit, and the opponent is in assassin's range, so I'm lucky to still be quaking the opponent at this moment. I got really lucky that none of those evades failed. I'm guessing the opponent did not have assassins. But anyway, that was a. But again, it was worth using that, and plus I was just waking up. So again, rule number, I forgot which rule that was. Don't fight when you're just waking up. I think that's rule number 5. But we got away with it. But as a BG, did not have our best individual war performance. I think this is the first individual battleground defeat that we've had. Because normally we out defeat we normally have a better attack bonus than our opponent. So I think this is the very first one that in a while that I can recall that we actually died more times than the opponent. But as you saw there, the opponent was dying more often once they got to our mini bosses. So if we held our deaths under control, we still would have had a chance. But sometimes I guess it gets discouraging when you died when the opponent died 0 times and you died 29. So maybe the focus isn't there. But I mean, the lesson is it ain't over till it's over. So you gotta fight, give it your best fight every fight. Don't take no fight for granted, because nobody likes to use items, especially the boosts, not the boosts, but the revives and the potions. Like the glory store, you prefer to use the glory store to get like rank up material versus potions all the time. So really, and then of course the loyalty, you can gain bigger loyalty by winning wars, and getting bigger loyalty will give you more opportunity to keep buying good boosts such as the invulnerability, the power start, and the combat regeneration, and those class-based power boosts, or even some potions that may come in there. Of course, I will never use my loyalty to buy a 5-star or even a 4-star Unstoppable Colossus, so that'll just be a continued champ that I would never collect. So we took quite a bit of parry damage there. This is a rank 3 Apocalypse, by the way, and there are literally no boosts for this fight, if I'm not mistaken. Not even the White Magneto pre-fight. Could be wrong, but so check this out. There's going to be some interesting phenomenon that's going to happen in just this war. I don't understand why it didn't happen anywhere else. But after I throw my SP3, it just literally walk me into the opponent. Like I swear I was not pressing any buttons at all. It just literally walked me into the opponent, and it's not like I couldn't even. I was trying to hold back, but it just walked me to the opponent. Now you saw that SP3, it didn't do it. So I'm not sure what caused. I'm not sure what caused that to happen, because it's effectively it messed up my magic cycle, because now I have to deal with him having to throw specials again, and he's a rank 3 and I'm unboosted, so that's taking a lot of my health damage. So obviously whatever happened just then, that can't happen again, because if that happens again, I mean, Limbo saved me. I mean, I was able to basically recuperate all that lost health back, but by the time his combo is over, if at this stage I'm gonna be dead, so that can't happen again. So, but we normally do. And even in a loss, I still like to see if I could solo with a higher degree of difficulty there. Rank 3 unboosted. So we get a little nice cheeky, very cheeky intercept there. I didn't want to get the 3 bars of power, obviously. It's too early. He doesn't have enough buffs on him. Alright, so now we should be able to get there. Alright, so we're going to throw the SP3. And check this out. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Like, I'm holding back like I normally do. And it just walks into him. I swear, that was very frustrating. Now, Limbo did trigger once again, but I had too low of a health to heal back after a combo. And of course, that's not something you want to do on purpose. Now, tactfully, if I want to do something like that, I could, after SP3, purposely take a combo, because I know I'll heal it back with Limbo. But you got to make sure you have a good enough health pool to start off with to do that. So, and then of course, going in with Claire to finish him off. If you don't one-shot him, obviously those light attacks into your block is gonna stun you. Obviously, I'm not used to not one-shotting him, so just a little one thing that slipped my mind. But again, we lost this war, so but still want to make sure you guys have your entertainment here and little things. Claire's not a bad option against Apocalypse because she can actually heal from all the block damage that's taken. So boosted with the pre-fight, I think she can one-shot this guy. I may try it this off-season to see if that's possible, because there might be some wars where I can't afford to bring Magic, but because she's not as universal for a lot of fights as Claire is. So the off season is really where I use my experimenting, because I know what I can do during the season. So this off season, I may try, if I see an Apocalypse boss, I may try to see if I can solo with Claire. So stay tuned for that. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment below, like, share, subscribe. Just like, what content do you want to see this off season once these videos are done? I will be doing some variant 7, but is there some other game content at 6, whatever other variants that you're struggling with? Just let me know. All right, guys, take care.